So I just wanted to give it like lots of time in advance, just in case. So I wanted to like.
Hey, Harrison, you're supposed to return with Lunsford. It's 7:01.
I told them Mr. Jacobs is giving a motivational speech.
Oh my gosh. Well, just in a point at your watch and say miss out. Miss out.
Hey, Mr. Jacobs.
Good evening, and welcome to the Freedom High School Pre-Assessment Concert 2018. My name is Laura Lazarovich, and I'm the choral director here at Freedom, and I'm pleased to welcome you all so that you can see all we have been working on, not just the past few weeks, but over the course of this year, and for many of our students, several years to prepare for this assessment just next week. Our first performance of the evening will be the Lunsford Middle School 8th grade chorus under the direction of Eric Jacobs. We're so pleased to have him here this evening. And so I'll go ahead and pass off the first part of the program to Mr. Jacobs.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Eric Jacobs. This is the J. Michael Lunsford Middle School 8th grade chorus. As you can see, they're quite large this year, 78 members strong. And we're going to be performing two pieces for you this evening. Festive Alleluia by Marilyn Lightfoot, and then Agnus Dei setting by Audrey Snyder. We hope you enjoy it.
Lunsford Middle School Choir is making their way to the chorus room for their sight reading portion of their adjudication. For those of you who don't know, there are two portions of the state choral assessment. One is the stage performance, and the other portion is assessing their musical literacy or sight singing ability. And so currently they're going to go and do that in the chorus room because at assessment we walk into another room to do sight reading. However, I'm making my students sight read on stage, so you'll get to hear them do that tonight. I know they might have forgotten about that. So at this point, Mr. Jacobs informed me that of his students, there are some students who are going to be leaving immediately following the sight reading, and if that is you and your family, now is actually the perfect time to exit as we get ready to transition. However, you are all invited to stay for the remainder of the performance. And as you all are kind of exiting and we're doing this transition, I just thought I'd share a few announcements that could pertain to everyone in this room. Next Wednesday evening, we're hosting a really awesome concert, a collaboration concert here at Freedom High School. We're hosting the Florida State University Singers, as well as South County High School chorus students for a collaboration concert at 7:30 p.m., which is free and open to the public. I want to say a huge thank you to the Freedom Course parents who have already sent in donations, signed up to bring in food next week, who will be here to volunteer, who are hosting FSU students at your house overnight. It is all so very appreciated. I really think this is going to be worth it for our students to have this opportunity to perform with the Florida State University Singers and alongside them, as well as our friends over in Fairfax County at South Beach High School. Let's see. Also, I wanted to just remind you that the cluster concert has been postponed until April 10th. So that's now within the next month. So we're getting closer. It seemed like it was really far away when we had to postpone it. But that's coming up shortly, and that should be a really fun event for our entire performing arts cluster. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and call up women's chorus to the stage. Stand and come on up. Okay. And what I thought I would share with you as they're making their way to the stage, you might be like, so what are these judges even listening for? I mean, how do you grade this? Sounds good to me, and hopefully those are things you're thinking, but there are actually 7 specific categories that the adjudicators are giving us a score in, and the scores, there are 5 levels: superior, excellent, good, fair, and poor. And so of the 7 categories, there is tone, vocal tone quality; intonation, which means singing in tune, not being too high or too low; diction, which is vowels and consonants; rhythm, singing the correct rhythms; artistry, which is dynamics, singing things with phrasing and style; balance and blend. Balance is within the different sections, and blend is within each section, making sure you don't hear any voices sticking out. And then lastly, general effect is the way they look. Do they look professional? I think they do. Yeah, they're looking pretty good. And so those are the 7 categories that the judges are looking at, and they're giving us comments as well as scores in each one of those categories. So just thought I'd share a little more information with you. I'm also secretly stalling because I want Lunsford to make it back for some of the women's chorus performance, but we'll move ahead for now. Hopefully they'll make it back for the second song, so them for staying. So, women's chorus, our first song this evening is Juego a que me quemo, which is based on a Colombian folk song. The text, a spark of flame. Let's see if I get burned. A spark of flame, I am burned already. It is silly and full of humor. Ethan Van Slyke will be joining us on percussion, and I hope you enjoy this.
Lie, 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 lie.
which is very contrasting. It's a loving and dreamlike work by Eric Whitaker, who is a living composer, kind of famous. He's like our celebrity in the choral world. And this song will capture the undulating rhythm of a mother rocking her child to sleep. The piece was inspired by the classic Rudyard Kipling poem, White Seal. Both of these songs the women's chorus are performing. Well, first of all, let me say, when you go to state choral assessment, you have to pick music from a prescribed list, and it's all graded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. And this year, women's chorus is performing 2 level 4